You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, joining us on the phone lines right now is retired General Russel Honore. Many of us, of course, remember him for his leadership skills during Hurricane Katrina. General, how you doing?
I'm doing great, sir.
All right. I'm sorry I could not listen to that news conference a second time. It was very frustrating to me looking how the Trump administration, frankly, blew off the coronavirus for an entire month. He did not want to be bothered with it, kept focusing on the stock market, saying, hey, we'll be down to 0 cases, and now we're more than 1,000 cases. To listen to them complain about South Korea, they're testing 10,000 people a day. We haven't even tested 10,000 people. As somebody who is an expert in this area, just your assessment up to date on how this administration has fared when it comes to trying to deal with the coronavirus.
Metaphorically, I would say this, Roland. They keep roaring up that river called denial for over a month. And then when they started taking action, the audio and the video don't match. They're saying test kits are available, and they're not. We tell people to keep social distances, and we see the President of the United States shaking hands on television. We see them exchanging and touching each other. The audio and the video don't match. What they say they're doing with testing is not laying out in the field. I do believe that testing will get solved in the coming days and weeks. But in retrospect, this should have been done a month ago. But we can't live in the past. That'll be solved in November. Right now, people need to take care of themselves. They need to believe that they're in danger, practicing social distance, washing your hands. Don't get enamored with that fancy soap you're trying to buy and the disinfector. Get you a bar of soap, get you some hot water and wash your hands. Carry your bar of soap here in a sandwich bag. If you go someplace you don't have soap, take your bar of soap out and wash the hell out of your hands. And if you're sick and you're sneezing, stay away from people. Stay home. Because that testing will do. We got a lot of people walking sick right now, and they don't know they have the virus. And they're passing it on to others. We don't have the capacity to take care of 100,000 people in the emergency room. That's about what we have. We don't have enough ventilators and respirators for first responders and for nurses and doctors treating people. We have to up the production of respirators and ventilators. They didn't talk about that. They only talked about what they wanted to talk about to make people feel good, but it was good enough, New Orleans, to drive the stock market back up.
Well, see, and that really, I think, is really what the focus was, because as all Donald Trump really has been focused on and cares about. And there are people out there, and let me be real clear, this is not a question of, are you always critical about Donald Trump? If they actually performed properly, I'm not going to sit here and be Vice President Mike Pence, who's just going to suck up to Trump the entire time. The bottom line is this here. You had individuals who did not want to test people because they did not want the numbers to go up. He sat there and said at the news conference that they've cleared the way. There were all of these problems when it came to rules and regulations, when it came to testing, yet the rules he's talking about didn't even exist. They're just making the stuff up. And Dr. Fauci, you heard him even say, yeah, we made some mistakes early on, but then Trump says, look, I'm not sitting here accepting any blame whatsoever because, that's just how he is. The thing that really jumps out here is that here it is, March 13th, and you're having this news conference in the Rose Garden with private sector laboratories and businesses. This is literally what should have been done in the middle of February, the 1st of February. And so, as somebody who came into Katrina after folks were screwing it up, when you're behind the 8 ball, you got to do a whole lot to catch up. That's really where we are right now.
Yes, Roland, and that $40 billion in the hand of the governors and in the hand of small business, what I did not hear him say is that about 60% of America is worth for small businesses like yours. they are the ones that hiring Americans. They're the
Yep.
ones that have to meet payroll every 2 weeks. How are you going to take care of the workers who can't go to work? I think a plan could be devised.
Yep.
And we've used this after disasters with FEMA. People could call in and say, I can't work, I'm at home. They fill it out on a computer or they call their number in, and in 24 hours they could have $1,500 in there. And we're going to have to do that.
Yep.
We're going to have to figure out a way to get to work. Tax cut is not going to help working people. Because if you're not working, you ain't paying tax.
Right.
That's stupid. They're missing the ball all over the plate. I think Senator Pelosi, had a plan to ensure working poor people could get income. I'm not worried about the airline pilot who comes home and go off on his yacht. He'll figure it out. No crying on the yacht. Or the executive of Wall Street who lost money on the stock exchange sitting in his G5. I'm worried about the working poor. And a way to do it, Roland, and I hope they're listening, is using the FEMA disaster personal assistance where they put money in people's account within 24 hours.
Well, we certainly hope that is the case. At that news conference today, he said that, well, Dems are not really cooperating and they're not agreeing to what we want them to agree to. It's because, again, he wants to focus on big business, all about the stock market, whereas Pelosi and the Democrats say, what about the regular, ordinary, average American? So we certainly will see what happens next. Russel Honore, glad to have you on the show. Look forward to having you back.
Yes, sir, anytime. And people, let's take care of each other. Wash our hands and look out for our old folks. Check in on them.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
All right, so a lot of y'all are always asking me about some of the pocket squares that I wear. Now, Robert don't have one on. Nope. Now, I don't particularly like the white pocket squares. I don't like even the silk ones. And so I was reading GQ magazine a number of years ago, and I saw this guy who had this pocket square here, and it looks like a flower. This is called a shibori pocket square. This is how the Japanese manipulate the fabric to create this sort of flower effect. So I'm going to take it out and then place it in my hand so you see what it looks like. And I said, man, this is pretty cool. And so I tracked down, it took me a year to find a company that did it. And so they make these about 47 different colors. And so I love them because, again, as men, we don't have many accessories to wear. So we don't have many options. And so this is really a pretty cool pocket square. Now, what I love about this here is you saw when it's in the pocket, it gives you that flower effect like that. But if I wanted to also, because if I flip it and turn it over, it actually gives me a different type of texture. And so therefore it gives me a different look. So there you go. So if you actually want to get one of these shibori pocket squares, we have them in 47 different colors. All you got to do is go to RolandSMartin.com/pocket squares. All right, so first of all, that graphic is way too small. So tomorrow we're going to run it right down here all across the screen. So it's RolandSMartin.com/pocket squares. All you got to do is go to my website and you can actually get this. Now, for those of you who are members of our Bring the Funk fan club, there's a discount for you to get our pocket squares. That's why you also got to be a part of our Bring the Funk fan club. And so that's what we want you to do. And so it's pretty cool. So if you want to jazz your look up, you can do that. In addition, y'all see me with some of the feather pocket squares. My sister, who's a designer, she actually makes these. They're all custom made. So when you also go to the website, you can also order one of the customized feather pocket squares right there at RolandSMartin.com/pocket squares. So please do so. And of course, it goes to support the show. And again, if you're a Bring the Funk fan club member, you get a discount. This is why you should join the fan club.
Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.